Humza Yousaf, we'll talk, I promise, about trains a lot in a moment, but just something else that's bubbled up this morning, the affair surrounding Hugh Gaffney, the Labour MP. You wrote a letter, didn't you, to Richard Leonard this week. Have you got a reply from him?
No, I checked my inbox just actually before I came on into the studio. I've not received a response from him, or when I've been tweeting directly to Hugh Gaffney, a response to him either. And there's a number of questions that clearly have to be answered. Has Hugh ever received equalities and diversity training before? As many of his former colleagues have contacted me privately to say that he would have done. And if that is the case, then does this not just make a further mockery of Richard Leonard's weak action that he's taken in regards to these racial slurs that Hugh Gaffney made?
What's your reaction to him not replying to you?
Well, okay, I'm obviously frustrated at that from a personal point of view, but it's not about me versus Hugh or me versus Richard Leonard. There are many people that have contacted me, whether they're ethnic minority or not, who have been utterly dismayed. Labour members, of course, themselves, coming up to me in the chamber and the Parliament, MSPs, to say that they are utterly appalled at their party's stance on this. So the Labour Party, I have to say, traditionally a party, of course, that has taken a very strong stance against racism, is showing itself to be weak in the face of, as I say, racial slurs. And a week after, one of their own colleagues, Anna Sawar, came forward to tackle and confront racism within his own party in a very brave manner indeed.
And what do you think should happen to Mr Gaffney? He should be suspended, do you think?
At the very least, he should be suspended. That gives him time and opportunity to reflect his actions.
Well, you say at the very least. What do you think should happen to him?
Well, I think he should seriously consider his position. I mean, if an MP used the word, any other racial slur, then I don't think we would say that person would be fit to hold office. But at the very least,
you think he should resign as an MP?
I certainly think he should be considering his position, and I don't doubt that I'm not the only one who thinks that. But this kind of weak action from Richard Leonard is simply unacceptable, and it's not just frustrating for those that are in politics, but many people have approached me outside of politics this week to say that they are utterly dismayed at the lack of action from Richard Leonard on this.
Right. Well, Richard Leonard, though, couldn't remove him as an MP, could he? It would have to be Mr Gaffney himself who decided to resign.
Well, either you're the leader of your party or you're not the leader of your party. You take a commanding role over your Scottish MPs, your Scottish MSPs, your councillors, and of course this is the nub of the problem, the complete inconsistency in approach from Richard Leonard. So the councillor who made the alleged remarks to Anna Sawar, that is being investigated. He denies those remarks, that councillor, but of course rightly he has been suspended. Hugh Gaffney admits making a racial slur, absolutely comparable to the remark that was made to Anna Sawar, and yet all he gets is barely a tickle in the wrist. That kind of weak action from Richard Leonard actually is a slap in the face of every single ethnic minority in the country.